ambassadors, honorable guests, I'm honored and super excited of having such an event at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Israel. And I'm excited to be speaking today, sharing with you one of the assets, a technological asset that Israel has to offer to the world in the fight for climate crisis, biodiversity, and food security. The asset of alternative protein technologies, the technologies of making meat, poultry, fish, eggs, milk, dairy from plants, and from cultivated technologies. We can make products that look, taste, and smell the same as the conventional animal products, without the environmental consequences, the extensive use of natural resources, and the health impact. And countries worldwide have also identified the potential of investing in alternative proteins, and this is just some of the examples of these countries. Countries are providing research grants, agriculture resources. They support the manufacturing, the establishment of manufacturing sites, and promote regulatory pathways for these products to reach the market. At the same time, Israel has paved the way as a global leader in the field, with investments ranked just second after the US. 18% of all global investments in alternative proteins are in Israeli companies. And one of the levers of this progressive ecosystem is an active government support in the field. Promoting a national policy plan in alternative protein, addressing the biggest challenges of the ecosystem that the private sector doesn't address today. A national plan that supports academic research, a plan that supports the commercialization of this research, and a plan that provides the underlying conditions for companies to continue to grow and develop in Israel into an innovative industry. And I'm happy to start today the discussion of how Israel can collaborate with your countries in the area of alternative proteins. But before that, a few words about us. The Good Food Institute is an international nonprofit organization working to make the global food system better for the planet, for the people, for the animals. We work with scientists, businesses, and policymakers. Powered by philanthropy, we work across the globe to ensure alternative proteins are an essential solution needed to meet the climate, biodiversity, and food security goals of the world. And the way we do it is not by changing consumer behavior. We're trying to change the way we make meat. So a few words about the Israeli ecosystem. It consists today of over 55 startup companies. Some of them you will hear soon. Some of them are still under stealth mode. Across the different technologies and across the different commercialization stages. It comprises of highly involved academic landscape with active academic research performed across the universities in Israel, with over 50% of total investment based on academic research. The Israeli industry is also highly involved. You can see here Tnuva, the largest manufacturing food company in Israel, Strauss, Coca-Cola Israel, Nestle Israel, all involved in the field, collaborate with Israeli startups and create joint ventures. And while tech investment in Israel saw a decline of 18% the first half of 2022, investments in alternative proteins saw an increase of 160% compared to last year. So what is the government role in promoting this field? We see the Israeli government, this is the event today as itself, we are super excited by that, and thank you again for that, but it's one of many other events that we've witnessed over the last year. Last year, former Prime Minister Bennett has requested to get a briefing of the Israeli alternative protein ecosystem before meeting President Biden. And in this meeting, he presented this technology as the potential asset to fight climate crisis. Later that year, before the delegation to COP26, the president was the first to taste cultivated chicken produced by Future Meat Technologies. And later that year, I think it was already mentioned, we had an alternative protein event at the United Nations headquarters in New York. And these are just a few examples. In light of this tremendous recognition and support of the field, GFI Israel, along with Ernst & Young, established an alternative protein national policy plan, focusing on leveraging this ecosystem and ensuring its further growth and development in Israel. Started by identifying the main barriers of the ecosystem, creating a detailed plan to address it, along with a financial plan and evaluation of these gains. And I will just quickly highlight some of these achievements that we've had this year. The approval of the world's largest cultivated meat consortium. What other way there is to bring 10 academic laboratories, 10 startups together to work for over 3 years on mutual R&D, if not by government support? We have a regulatory progress of the Israeli regulator with the FAO working to set the standards for the regulatory approval for these technologies. And considering the execution, we have evaluated the potential benefit for the country, a significant increase in the number of manufacturing plants, number of startups, multinational, which in turn increases significantly the number of high-paying jobs, supporting services, taxation, and of course, Israel's ability to cater for the growing demand of the population. The Israeli case study can be tailored to any other country, developing a national food and alternative protein strategy, ecosystem, and ultimately, an industry. Last month, Israel has declared food tech and alternative protein as one of the 5 priority topics for the next 5 years. Just few weeks later, President Biden declared its plan to invest in biotechnology and cultured food to increase the food security. There are various motivations. It can be economic, it can be to enhance food security, it can be broad food strategy, it can be to enhance biodiversity. Alternative protein field has an essential part to play within any of these strategies. At the end of the day, there's going to be a new food system. There's going to be a new supply chain, a new value chain, more robust, more resilient, with new opportunities throughout the entire value chain, from agriculture and supply of raw material, to production, processing, to supply chain and distribution. It's time for each country to find its role in this new evolving supply chain. And with this investment comes a wide range of national benefit, from creation of new companies, jobs, taxes, the ability of the country to meet its climate and food security goals, along with an asset to the rest of the world in a time of crisis. I'm sure you heard enough about the challenges of meat production and climate crisis, and I hope that by now you are optimistic, as we are, regarding the solutions and opportunities. Thank you very much. Shana Tova.